Yes, we are live. Let me. So, Junkie, welcome. Happy Flag Day.
Wish you the same. Wish you the same, Dad. And happy Flag Day to every Liberian there in the diaspora, and to all of our many listeners and our ardent supporters here in Liberia. Welcome to the closing argument, and we are live here on Freedom FM 87.9.
Yes, so guys, we are live. Today was Flag Day in Liberia. Uh, and one of the occasion I remember as a young man growing up, we'll gather on this day with our school. I was a student at Morovia College and Industrial Training School, and we would gather and go for march. We would march through the principal streets of Liberia, and we would get there. The band would play, and we'll go and all of that. I was playing the Morovia College band those days, and it was fun. We had a great time. I love doing it. It was where everybody gathered and enjoy the music and the fun. All the high school students would gather at the barracks. In fact, a few days before Flag Day, we'll always go to the barracks and start to practice the different schools, the different band. We gather there and we start to prepare for this day. It was very special to a lot of us who was around during that time. It was very special. We had great memories and fun and gathering, and then we had the celebration at the executive pavilion. I believe that was it, and we'll go there and check it. So we really have fun. We have fun those days. So, Junkie, how did the day go in Liberia? You are in Liberia. What happened today for the 26th? So
Yeah, the 24th. The 24th.
the 24th.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. The country, to be honest, is not really the way we expect it. Uh, Things are not flowing the way it should flow. So the country is just tight. There are a lot of claims and counterclaims, allegations and accusations of individuals being involved with acts that are inimical to societal norms, and all of these different issues that are permeating the media landscape and the corridors of our different street corners and slum and ghettos. The country is tense.
Mm.
Howbeit today was not too good in terms of the weather condition. Yeah, but we celebrated the day because today is Flag Day. We must celebrate it. It is a day that we have no option to celebrate. But basically, the government had not an elaborate and an opulent program today, but at least in commemoration of the day, the government had a mini program.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so we hope for the best. We hope for the best because these are not what we expect. These are not what you people left with us before even traveling to the diaspora. So what we are experiencing, honestly, we are just forced to cope. But the country is not giving us the happiness we deserve because these days, like you said when you were laying your premise, when I was even in St. Francis School in Maryland County, these days we have our Flag Day parade. We have gatherings that allow students, that allow people to come together, share ideas, share thoughts, share feelings. You know, knock it up, chase out there, and move on and clear the stress. You know, all those things that used to be the conveyor belt by which we unite and we remain in peace. I think they've been extinguished gradually because of our attitude nowadays. So we hope for the best. And to be honest, that Peabody, I'm really, really despondent because what you people experience, we react to see, and it's painful. It's painful. The time we were supposed to start enjoying what's supposed to be enjoyed, everything went in pandemonium. So honestly, for me personally, I am not happy. I am not happy because this is a great land. This land has a lot to offer. But why we are like this is just, mind-boggling and remains unfathomable. But we pray for the best, that of Peabody.
Yes, yes. Uh, uh, uh. That's the best that all we can pray for. Things are a little different in that country. Very different. When we were there was no war. The only thing I remember, maybe still the same, that most time around this time it was always raining. There was always rain, on July. But we had a great time. As I said, we will go to gather at the barracks where we will go and do our practices for the upcoming event, and then in the morning we'll all gather. So the school will put this nice uniform together, and we'll go and have some great time. So we used to have some very good time. As I can tell you, we were just wonderful. The band we played, I would look forward to this day, and it was great. It was really great, and now we can't see this happening no more. We can see this, the fun, for the kids. We gather as young students. We will gather, we'll talk. Some people be outside having fun, people inside for the program. It was always fun. It was always fun. And I understand the finance minister was the guest speaker today. Did you guys follow the speech or what they said?
Basically, I did not follow the full speech.
Mm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't. I
I
did
didn't
not.
follow
I did not
yes.
follow it. Yeah. So I don't know what was going. I don't know what was going on. Somebody may have to come up and explain to us what happened today. I haven't followed the news. Let me see the news on what is going on. But I haven't followed Front Page Africa, and but we had a reporter there. I hope Joseph Selly will come on and tell us what happened at the program today. Uh, 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 so he come and let us know what happened, what special message. But the issue of the drug is still going on in Liberia, and we today there was a beautiful article on CNN that somebody wrote about Liberia and the slaves, and how Liberia became a place of free slaves to return, and Liberia was known as the land of the free, and all of that. Today, somebody wrote, uh, and there were mixed feelings about the returnees, people coming to Liberia. A lot of people had uh, uh, mis feeling about that. So, I mean, very very difficult, to see that folks did not have a good time, in the issue. Mr. Gibbon is not around. I haven't seen him yet. Uh, I don't know whether the link got to him late, but maybe too many men know where he is. Uh, uh, so we'll see what happened. There's a beautiful article that I'm trying to find about. I'm trying to find, but it's not. It's not working. I'm not finding it. But yeah, so the vice president still remains in the hospital, right?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Okay. Uh, and any report on the vice president? Anything about her?
Yes, basically, the latest that I gathered um, was that the vice president, after being relieved from the clinic there, she will be at her residence
Okay.
under house arrest.
Okay.
Why the case is pursued through due process. So as I'm concerned, regarding her state of mind,
Okay.
her state of being. There's no clue yet because as you are aware, the security is tight. In fact, the Independent National Commission on Human Rights officials were even denied entry to see the former vice president and other prominent Liberians who at least supposed to be leveraged based on their status in the society and the human related nature attached, especially that she fell off through the process.
Mm-hmm.
She was well, but after she got arrested, she lose it. So because of that, there are many Liberians that are concerned and wanting to have a conversation, wanting to see her, at least wanting to talk to her to calm the nerves. But the tight security, as if guilty verdict have already been brought against her. The security is so tight, and to easily get information regarding her state of being now is difficult. So updates are not really coming the way it should come. Only insinuations because many persons who are supposed to be allowed to see the madam are being disallowed. So there where we are, and we hope that she recuperates very soon and join us again while we all follow the due process and we all give respect to the rule of law and make sure that the law takes its course in regards to stamping these kinds of excesses in the society who will be culpable. The law is blind. The law does not care for a former vice president. It does not care for a former president because, mind you, now there have been many former presidents around the world because of poor management and administrative ineptitude. They've been penalized. They've been dealt with after their leadership. Park from South Korea, Luis Lula Inacio da Silva from Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and even including Jair Bolsonaro, the former, the now president of the U.S. In fact, went through the jurisprudence of the U.S. based on creating insurrection and acts that were not in line with providing security for legislators. There have been many individuals who served as presidents and leaders after their term pay for those wrong things that they did when they had the power to their disposal while they were in charge. For instance, Imran Khan from
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan is also in line with the same. So when anybody is culpable and did things that were not supposed to be done against the Liberian people, since Liberian people sent them to represent and lead, and they did things against the Liberian people, and the law prohibits, the law will take its course. All we are asking, we just asking that all sides keep calm. Let us focus the law. Let the law take preeminence, and let try to put our feelings way behind and forget about insinuations and emotions, and focus on what the law says in line with these kinds of activities in our country. I would like to beg all Liberians using this medium, the closing argument here on Freedom FM. Let us keep calm. Let us stop stirring tension. Everyone is supposed to face the law when there's need. Nobody is above the law, so we should not panic. Madame Joel, I know her. This is an unblemished character since I've been knowing her. She have served in several key national positions that was instrumental in making the proper decision as to where we are headed as a country in this new democratic dispensation. She served. She played roles that saw Liberia benefiting. So I would just ask also the security people and the government to treat every citizen with dignity, as Paul King will be treated with dignity. Madame Joel should also be treated in similar form and manner. With that, we will not have these kinds of tensions, all around the place. That's how I see it.
Awesome. Awesome. Uh, 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 Let me welcome our senior, one of our senior moderator, Chief Sylvester Pee-wee. I want to welcome him, a senior political strategist, the New York Progressive. I'd like to welcome him, and I'd like to turn it over to Sylvester. Sylvester's here. Welcome, boss.
Thank you, Dr. Peabody. A wonderful good evening to you, and thank you, Mr. Morris. I see that you got a terrific new haircut. No, I'm very observant.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
Yeah. I know. I hope you come from some where you going for special visit?
No, basically, over the weekend, I met my political ally.
Oh, you met your political ally.
I met my political ally, so I needed to be decorous.
Yeah, very decorous. Yeah, but I think it's good to be back on the show. We told a lot of things basically unfolding in the country. I listened to you just now. Talked about the issue about the former vice president. I hope she's doing good. And I'm told she's still in the hospital undergoing treatment. Is that correct?
Sure.
Is that correct? Okay. Yeah, sure. Still undergoing treatment. But by any chance, have the police commented on her status currently? Now, I mean, this kind of thing you have, because this is a very it's a criminal matter now. She's been criminally charged by the Liberian National Police and the government of Liberia, let me put it that way. And then this came about abruptly that she had to be hospitalized. Due to hospitalization, the kid had not yet been filed into court. Did the police, by any chance, or the government, by any chance, update the Liberian people on the status of the former vice president relative to recuperation and that of trying the date that was now found to be set to arraign her in court? Or not, if that cannot be communicated, but what is there any conversation? Because the police being, you charge the vice president, and then she abruptly fell ill, and then you have to take her to a local clinic in Monrovia. But the problem here now is the police updating us on the status of the former vice president relative to her criminal charges and all those things. And any update, Jenkins, from that perspective, that the police have had a press conference, because the police knew of, coming, getting playing into the media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we now know what actually is unfolding? Is the vice president recurring, or is he stable? As I learned last time, the police spoke, because the police director, while attending the president book launch, said clearly that the vice president was not stable and talking. So was she not stable and talking when she was taking? A lot of things people are not really paying attention to. But since then, have we been told the status of the vice president by the government?
No.
Or by her family? Let me put it this way: by the family. If the government is not speaking up, is the family also speaking up?
No, basically, what's going on? In fact, the security have been tightened. In fact, I don't know whether you watch that video from Spoon. Credit to them. And when the Independent National Commission human rights official went at the clinic, they were denied entry. Up to now, the government have not updated the public as to the well-being of the former vice president, and the family of the former vice president. I don't think they themselves have that carte blanche to meeting the former vice president at will, and knowing and updating, getting updates on how she's coming on. And this is the situation, and this is what is troubling, that she will be in the clinic, being hospitalized and being treated. No update from the security forces. No update from family members, friends. Only select group of people in government are allowed to go and see the former vice president, even former officials who are supposed to be in solidarity with her are being denied. So this is the situation, and we are urging the police to come up with updates, because we need to know. Today is Monday, even though today is a holiday. Well, today is Monday, and we need to know as to how Madame Joel is faring since she went at the games hospital for treatment.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm asking this, everybody, I would love for you also to come. The reason why I'm asking this is that a lot of folk have not been paying attention to this, and I listened to the police chief when they spoke to him, when the Human Rights Commission folks went there, and they said, according to the police, he gives some flimsy, very flimsy and stupid kind of an excuse that his phone was off. That's the reason why the folks didn't go. So imagine if the police chief of the Republic of Liberia is off. So I mean, there'll be no function about anything until the police chief puts his phone back on. That is just reckless and being irresponsible on the part of any very serious-minded police chief. You wouldn't even go to a press briefing and say, "Oh, my phone." I mean, in a serious society, if any society is serious, you wouldn't have such a reckless person to be a chief of police who go and give the kind of excuse, "My phone off," and that's the reason why I didn't do this. But be as it may, you get to the point. He said his phone was off, so the human rights folks, he's sorry that he didn't reach there because his phone. So when his phone is on, the guy will call, "Okay, yeah, get the people in, get the people in." There should be a clear-cut situation. The reason why the human rights folks went there, they are not political people, Mr. Police Director. You see, when you guys are appointed to perform on the basis of being partisan, then where these things come from. These people are not partisan elements. These are human rights folks that want to see, because these things, it will even help you, because the political institutions where the vice president is affiliated with is trying to say something is happening to the contrary. So the human rights group is coming to give an independent assessment, and then you are there saying this is not the way it should happen, this is not the way it should happen, they didn't get there because of this. Now people are now speculating, and due to some of those rough speculation, but people are, the point is that she's been there now for almost 4 or 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. Is it appropriate that the government of Liberia come and tell us the status of the former vice president? If she's doing well, if she's still required to be in hospital, tell us. Or is she require advanced treatment? Tell us. If she's recuperating, tell us. Okay, she's recovering from the treatment, and she will be in court this day or so. Would it be prudent if they were to engage into informing the Liberian people about that, Mr. Peabody?
It should be. There should be. I'm surprised. There should be like a weekly update from the police. Probably every day they should update the Liberians on the status of the former vice president, because she's not just a ordinary person. She's a former first lady of Liberia. She's the former vice president and a former senator of the Republic of Liberia. So they should update the Liberian people on her status. I don't think I recall since they arrested her and uh, took her to the hospital. There's limited information coming out of how she is doing, how her health is, what the case is about, and stuff like that. I still feel that there was a rush to arrest this lady. There was a rush to disgrace her, and now she's going to be doing exactly what they should have done. They're going to keep her on house arrest, and this is what they should have done. Then to put her off those charade at the airport with the people driving and all this stuff going on just to prove a point. We have seen this kind of stuff before. At the end of the day, the case will just linger and drag and stuff like that. But I think they have not done well in providing information about her status and let other people know, and even denying a human rights group from going there is pathetic. What is so special? What is so much that you want to do that you don't even want anybody to visit her, even a human rights group who should be an independent body that will go in there to assess her condition and see if she was treated fairly or she's being treated with all the respect and they won't allow them to go in there. I think it saddens. It saddens because it only appeared that it just wanted to arrest her and bring the disgrace. I don't mind just to have evidence. They can go ahead. They have the evidence. It's important that they do the investigation. They bring those who are involved in the drugs together, but they should also be very transparent in what they do, and I think they are not doing it at this point. They are not.
Absolutely, and that's the basic point, because we need, and then since the human rights folks went in and Jenkins quickly, we make it a little interactive. We haven't heard back from the human rights folks about revisiting and attempting to revisit the former vice president. Is that correct?
No, the human rights officials on that same day said that when the opportunity is given, they will have a return to see how the former vice president is faring in terms of her dignity and her human rights, as to whether they are observed to the core. So they promise to return when proper arrangements shall have been made with the authorities.
Okay, quickly before just slip on this, and this is better late than never. Before that, people, we move forward on this. I just want to take this time actually on behalf of the closing argument also, and to announce our profound regret and extend our deepest sympathy to the family of the late
Janjay
Bakwe, to Mrs. Bakwe, wherever you are, and the children, his kids, his family, his mother and father, if they stay around. Our deepest sympathy on the loss, the devastating loss of Comrade Janjay Bakwe. Janjay was a friend and brother. We come a long way in terms of we build a relationship now for almost 2 decades, if you will. I've known Janjay for a very long time, and we had some very personal relationship. As a matter of fact, the last time when we visited one of the cabinet retreat in Ganta, from there we had the name what the key, we were sharing the same. So what's the key? We had a nickname calling one another, if you will. Janjay was a very deep brother. Last time I interacted with him one-on-one was in person, was in Philadelphia last August. But this time, when the UNIBWAP folks had a program in Philadelphia last year, that was the time we met. He have come to attend the program when the Senate pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, Honorable Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence, was the keynote speaker at their program. We met there. We had some very pleasant changes. And the last time John Jay was in the country, also in the US, it was the end of May of this year. He have come to, I think, see his family, and some friends. He was in here by the close of May. I think he returned to Liberia, and now yesterday we learned he died yesterday in Ghana, Accra. Accra, Ghana, and a very unfortunate. John Jay was a very enterprising young man, a very committed loyal partisan of the Congress for Democratic Change. As a matter of fact, he was the chair of the CDC Grand Bassa County chapter, and he served as superintendent for almost 6 years for the county for the great county of Grand Bassa. He resigned his positions close to the elections in 2023 to contest for the senatorial seat in Grand Bassa County, a seat that he didn't win. He was defeated by the current senator and former pro tempore of the Senate, Senator Bezonga Milton Thiende. But John Jay had his footprint in the Bassa politics of recent. He and the senator of Mangibit County did make a triumphant entry into Grand Bassa County, where we saw a muff gathering of partisans, well-wishers, and sympathizers of the CDC. That was a very massive show of strength that he and the current senator of Grand Bassa, Moserado County. So John Jay will be actually missed. This is a devastating loss. The loss is irreparable, if you will, particularly to his family. And then there's the CDC, but this is going to be a massive loss to his family, his wife, his little kids. So we want to extend our deepest sympathy. So people out there, I know you may have met John Jay before. So I just thought to say this and extend our sympathy to the family for the demise of our fallen friend, brother John Jay Gbagbe.
I met him a while ago at the Bassa reunion it was in Maryland at the time a few years ago. And got to meet him. I think he was still the superintendent at the time, and such a great young man, such a man who was very articulate, a man who had a lot of vision for what he was doing, a man who took Bassa very serious, who was always there for his people, a man who really wanted to lead with passion and bring changes to Grand Bassa County, and also very strong supporter to the CDC party. He was a very strong supporter. He was an advocate. I still remember there was a planned protest which he was going to be part of, or he was part of at the time, and he was even on the closing argument one time and provided some of the reasons that they were going to stage that protest and some of the goal. So I think the people of Bassa, the citizens, his family, most of all his family, they're going to make a great leader. He was a good son of Bassa, one of the strongest Bassurian ever produced, a very young man indeed. And I thought, our prayers and best wishes with him, with his family, and the citizens of Grand Bassa County and the CDC as well. So,
yeah, thank you. Morris, I think you may have interacted with John Jay, if not heard of him. What's your impression of him? What can you recall of him? What legacy is he going to leave with you?
Yeah, basically, I want to join you guys in the closing argument and Freedom FM family to say sorry to our sister, our mother, and the kids, the entire family, friends, relatives, and partisans of the indomitable CDC. As member of the CDC National Mobilization around 2015, 16.
Are you a card carrier of the CDC?
Sure. Okay. I am a certified public citizen.
Let me be a little fair, because playing the rules and I got to play the devil advocate. So, do you not? What will you say to those that will think that you will bring your partisanship to journalism? Can you? So
it can be fair journalism.
I cannot. So should I be as a Unity Party partisan or ANC partisan sitting with me across the table on the interview? Should I be skeptical that you would be fair to me in terms of hiding or taking your partisanship and trying to use that against me?
No, Pee-wee. There should be no prejudice, because my position on this platform is Liberia first. In fact, I think you guys just uncovered that I am a sedition.
Yeah. I just. So
it shows.
I've been sensing it.
You mean? Okay, so 2015, 2016, we had the 500,000 new membership recruitment draft under the father and Malu's leadership. Okay. And we were together. John J. was with the team even before the campaign. He was with the team as an interpreter. John J. was a very good Bassa speaker.
Very
eloquent. Like, he speaks English. That's how the brother was fluent in Bassa.
No. I think he did very well in the Bassa.
In Bassa, the English, yes. Sure. I agree with you.
Admire him for that, and I must envy him for that. And
so
do the same in London, but I think in terms of I'm very good at it also.
Okay.
Yes, but he was excellent. He was excellent. I'm trying to find some of the clip, probably if not today or so, we'll play and listen to. Sometimes the man will do when he do that in his car and play this background music, then he trying to interpret it. You know what I mean?
Interpret it, yeah.
I hope everybody will speak 50% of that kind of Bassa.
I hope I could, but I think I stopped somewhere. You know, I really wish I could. You know, my mom tried very hard. My mom was from the Bassa tribe. She tried very hard, and thank God that at least I understand a lot of it. Sometimes it go really deep. I just get lost. I'm like, geez, I don't think I can do this one. But I really wish I could. Now I really sometimes say to myself, and I've been teaching my son, the little one that I know. So sometimes I teach him how to say hi when people ask him how you doing and stuff. I try to, and he's really learning it. He's learning it. Yeah,
that's good.
It's important. It's important, Doc. It's important.
Yeah.
And so John J was a nice guy. He was a gentleman. He was a good gentleman. John J, above all else, John J was a committed and loyal friend. The last time we were together was 2017. 2017. Because 2015, 2016, when we were on the recruitment draft, he was being used as an interpreter from the B region, as Zekepa area, because that's the confluence of Bong, Nima, and Bassa, and the Basura and the plenty in between there. So he was being used even in Margibi, River Cess. So he did well. He was instrumental in most of our achievements. 2017, I remember. He was contesting. He was contesting in District 2, being occupied at the time by the traditional elders chief, Zanzan Kawa's wife.
Yeah, Mary Kawa.
Yeah. So we went there to pull out a political fight. We went there to give him all of the moral support, and with all of that, he was very respectful to the Oma.
Let me just say upfront, I shared with him one other time on that team. I think I came up. He contested against Zanakawa, where Mirakawa one other time. So that's like coming in here. I said, man, don't tell the chief so.
You want to choose the Oma position?
So that's how I go find it. So, yeah, you know. And that's so I can still remember that.
Yeah.
Making me scared. So you want me to get out of the race? I said, this is how many because we put fun of it, we laugh about it, and the rest of that, you know. So you know, he's gonna be missed, man.
Yeah.
He Daniel died very, very young. Very young.
Especially the CDC. The CDC will miss him. Honestly.
Listen, see most of those days of the struggle of the CDC. The days there was a time Molu, the rest of the folks, I think they went for a sit-in action at the U.S. Embassy. You'll see Janji was more those people that were doing that hunger strike sit-in action. Janji being a very committed, loyal partisan of the CDC. Yeah, a very committed loyal. I'm now a CDCian, right? I supported the CDC 2005 when I just made my debut to politics. In the second round, because I was then supporting Senator Somo Kupi for the Senate when we won the elections in Lofa, but then we just moved in to understand the politics there. We have to choke the entire county, introducing the dual witness style of campaign, door to door in all of the 7 administrative districts of Lofa County. We won. It was a massive result. We won the election. Then the second round, we decided, we young comrades, me, Bob Gizzy, B.N. Sadi, the rest of the folks, we decided so we would support Ambassador Weah candidacy. We didn't support Mam Salif. Unfortunately, he didn't win the election then. Right. Then 2017, I also supported the CDC and Mr. Weah won the elections. But Janji was a very devoted partisan. And I mean the issue is that when you want to speak about bona fides, these were the bona fides. He's a bona fide supporter and the loyal supporter of the CDC. He was very committed to the cause. And yeah, I don't want to sound like
in fact, you don't want to sound like me. in fact, he started. I remember Janji started with talking about after the poster ball and flyers, battle cry, man. He started from the policy response team of the CDC. You have Abdullah Mame, Musa Kone. You remember Peewee?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
remember?
the rest of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And one
yeah,
thing
yeah.
I really recall quickly that the people yesterday, we should be moving on to other discussion. We needed to pay this homage to him and pay our live respect to him. One thing I recall of this of John Jill Love, the last time I was in the country was in 20 when I went to engage the campaign 2023. We have met at the Farmington Hotel. That's one of the last very great social interaction we had together. It was Janji Bakwe. I have landed then. There was a major program ongoing. They said someone launching. We couldn't get along the traffic. So we decided to take a room at the Farmington Hotel to sleep over. And Janji have come from Buchanan, from the Kingdom. And he and the former business relationship chief, Samson Dean. I even spoke to Samson Dean yesterday. We met there. We had a whole night of just sitting outside the river there, having some time together. But one thing, people had to quickly hear, Mr. Weah yesterday, former President Weah yesterday, when he was speaking to the Nigerian Bar Association, and then before he started this, he remembered Janji. I think that was a profound moment that resonated with most of the CDCian and even non-CDCian that Mr. Weah paid tribute. Asking the lawyers then and those that were attending their program to join him in having a moment of silence for a loyal partisan and the son. He described it. Yeah.
And you know, Sylvester, what good thing is, it was the entire world pausing at that time to observe a moment of silence in honor of Janji Bakwe. You have the highest Nigeria Bar Association, one of Africa biggest country. They were all having that event, and President Weah took the advantage to pause every one of them to reflect on the life of John Jay and others. I think it was very much profound indeed for him to do that. And this young man, as I said, was a bright future. He had a great future ahead of him. Unfortunately, sometimes people are sick in Liberia. We don't have the kind of health care that they may need, or sometimes people just choose to go the other way, to seek other means of getting healed. And who knows, this young man's life could have been spared with whatever he was dealing with, whatever health issue he had. It could have been spared had he seen the right practitioners. And unfortunately, he had to succumb to his illness, but I think it was very profound of President Weah for him to pay that tribute on one of the world stage in Africa, to pay that tribute. I think it was very profound, and President Weah did the right thing, so in remembering his falling comrade.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And basically, we hope that he rests in perfect peace, and may his legacy be a blessing to all of us, and may his family found a consoling room, particularly his wife and kids, moving forward. But John Kings, there's a lot of things ongoing currently in the country. Something just came out. I want to click that to you so we can discuss it just later, but I will bring that back later on. But there are a lot of development currently in the country about issues that have been happening. I just wanted you, if you have the time, to update us with other concerning issues. We've been following this whole, we'll talk briefly about Joe Howard Taylor situations. We know for a fact that former President Weah is expected in the country tomorrow. And I don't know from where you're hearing about that. And then the current status of about the state of affairs in the country, and there's this situation that we've been gathering also about the resignation. We'll talk briefly about that. The resignation of the deputy press secretary to the president,
Joseph Valai.
Yeah, I'm told Joseph Valai resigned, but the press secretary, according to information, acknowledged the resignation, but she didn't further comment on the reason behind. She said it was personal, and I haven't seen it, but we've been receiving information that she didn't want him there as press secretary. She didn't give him the opportunity to even work there as press secretary. She always isolated him and took charge of things, asked the executive management reporters to never, ever grant him interview or so. I believe, I'm told he was deeply frustrated for those kind of a thing. He was not only blatantly and deliberately isolated, but there were some instructions from the executive management press crew, if you will, by the press secretary Kula Fofana. I mean, these are the stepping information we are receiving here. I mean, if this is done to a male is doing that to a female, they'll say, "Oh, this is in the workplace violence against." Why you think? Did you hear? Why you think Kula didn't want to see a Valai? At a certain point, if I'm told, one of the journalists on the executive management is saying to me, even at one point in time, she instructed us at the Rabat International Airport to immediately disengage in having conversation with him at the level of the Rabat International Airport. So what have you been hearing about his resignation?
I think that came from the background of violating some of the 48 laws of power on the part of Joseph Valai.
Okay.
I think as a young man, when you are around, you need to be meticulous in your proceedings because you have to learn. Honestly, you cannot overshadow your boss. The press secretary is the press secreter.
Did he ever attempt overshadowing his boss?
Joseph Valai,
I know.
I know Joseph Valai.
the most powerful law of the law of
Yeah, yeah,
power
yeah. Don't
says
overshine
never
your boss.
outshine the boss. And then I know.
Don't outshine your boss.
Did he
So,
attempt to outshine the boss?
and this is the modus operandi of Joseph Valai. I know him. We all were at the Capitol building together, and he's a UP enthusiast. So I think it overwhelms his reasoning and intelligence in discharging his duties, responsibilities, and function. For instance, we are here on this platform. You do not expect Junkies Morris to control the platform when Sylvester P is on, Dr. Henry Peabody is on. No, it's not possible. Yeah, it's not possible. So when you will have that, let us be honest. The young man is overzealous. He's too, he's too talking and he's too rushing. He doesn't want to wait for his time. So that's why she saw it as an existential threat, a pressing danger to her survivability. So that was to snub him and just squeeze him in one corner. And he himself would have walked out by himself. And that what happened. She decided not to openly fight. She used intelligence because this situation of making Balai isolated, it had been in the news long since from 2024.
No. But that's one of the reason what I thought, because this is the presidency. That's what we did. I'm bringing this out, right? It's not because of the Valai, right? I'm bringing this out, and the reason is that Valai got appointed, I think, in April of 2024. And ever since he got appointed, the appointment, press secretary and the two deputies, because they got the two deputy press secretaries should be appointed, if you will. There's no confirmation for those appointments. So immediately you are appointed, you get the job started. So immediately it's the appointment in April, I think April of 2024. But I have been very effective, if you will, in terms of relative to the function of that office, right? Because the deputy press secretary, you perform on the basis of assignment given to you by your boss, the press secretary. The press secretary will determine what kind of assignment you will perform. Because
so how do you become effective when your boss see you as a clear and present danger?
I don't know if she but again, I don't know why see him as a clear and present danger when he didn't have the ability or capacity to appoint himself to be press secretary, if you will. So, I mean, I'm just bringing this. I don't know. It being a long holding time. I would have left ever since even the first 6 months if I'm not having the time to perform a role that I'm performing of someone I'm expected to work with. The person is giving me those kind of attitude, right? I would definitely walk away. I don't know why he had to even hold on, but I understand the situation in the country. So sometimes you need a job to survive, to move on and other things. But I think he called it a day as a young man to move forward. I think that was the best decision. And I would call on the press secretary to desist. She's a young woman. Stop this kind of attitude. If you cannot, don't create the kind of a bottleneck for someone to not function in a way. So that's not her inheriting job, right? If someone in the professional space, you have to do that. She's gonna meet that ahead of her one day. What is she gonna be expecting other people to do? That's just nonsense. It was very unfortunate that she had to do that. But I think that's what I wanted him to do ever since.
Yeah, he did well. He did well.
Walk away. Just saying this, we just wanted to bring that as part of it while we move on. The deputy press secretary, Joseph Valai, resigned from his position almost 2 months now, I'm told, more than a month ago. He resigned, but he said was because he don't want to be seen as he's leaving, so he was mindful as I resigned. But I think he was isolated. He was treated in the kind of a disdain manner by a then boss, the press secretary. So that's what we're just trying to. What's your view on that?
Yeah, Junkie said, when it comes to the for it loss of power, sometimes people don't understand how you do things. You get promotion sometimes. It's not always your right. It's not always your entitlement. Sometimes you got to look at your boss as somebody because your advancement and everything else depends on that person, stuff like that. So when you working in an area like that where you think somebody is comfortable having you being around, I won't try to measure onto my boss, even at my job. I support her. Anything she wants to do. Things that I don't understand, I'll go there. I'm not saying even if she didn't do it right, I'm not going to tell her, oh no, this is not how you do it. You shouldn't be doing it like that. This is not how you do it. I find a time, a very comfortable time where I can sit there and have a conversation and we can share ideas and but mostly in a supporting role. And from what I'm hearing, for what Jungi is saying, apparently this guy did not seem like a homo employee. He felt that he was also in that position, So if you're in an era you and the boss can't get along, it become a hot mess for you because they will continue to make you uncomfortable. They'll continue to isolate you. You see, that I don't see this guy travel anywhere with the president. I only see him every time all the trips. Kulak goes on almost all the trips that the president go on. I've not seen him traveling. I've not seen him doing much. So the fact is, in an area like that, you suck up and get the things going, and what's supposed to happen for you. It doesn't appear he's that kind of person, from what I'm hearing. And definitely, the boss will do everything to let him go, even though he's appointed by the president. But if she reached out to the president and sent her report, he probably won't listen to her over him, and that's what we see happen. Unfortunately, he had to go. But also, after the press secretary as well, as a leader, you need to create environment for others to succeed. You're not just going to be there. It's not all going to be about you, about you, about you, about you. She should create opportunity for others to succeed. You can't just continuously put yourself in situation where you should be the head of everything. You should control everything. No, responsibility have to be dedicated to people. And you can't just be in the head. Every trip you won't be on it. Everything you won't be there. I don't think it's good. You have to make the environment very comfortable so everybody can feel part of that team. That's what a democratic style of leadership is. Because when everyone join in to make a decision, it rests on everybody. That decision is made, and for that reason, you got no regret. They got no regret when that decisions are made. But you don't want to come up with a laissez-faire style of leadership here, which is totally not good. And I think it was not good on her part that her deputy was isolated. He had to leave. She should have made the environment very comfortable for everybody.
Absolutely, and that's what I was saying. If it is where if this are going to be in the shoot of some man doing that to a female, then people go, oh, they got like so. This is unacceptable on a serious note. But I think Vala is a very brilliant young man. He's smart. The guy is I mean, he can move on. I mean, I know liberals are difficult. The United Party government don't provide the kind of opportunity that people like you, Vala, will thrive in this private sector. I don't think we have to rely on the government, unfortunately. But you're young man, smart, got a lot of potential, so you can cultivate in other areas and where you probably and see where you can engage and get things done. But if I were in your shoe, I will find some time to see if I can get some opportunity to get up to school, come in and build your capacity even more, make it more stronger, more forward, so that you get prepared for the challenges ahead of us. But yeah, it's good that you resign and leave. Don't work in a very toxic environment. An environment with cooler that is toxic with you. I mean, it's totally unfair that you be in an environment where your voice is not. You don't really matter. Look at the instance, and that you in the midst of talking to journalist, you can't. Oh, yeah, talking to the man. You gotta listen about nonsense. We need to stop this kind of a thing from female trying to bully talented and very, very competent young men and the rest of that. If the man was going to move now and try to deploy his own line of want to be defensive, he's trying to attack. But I can neutralize her in anything. But that's just it. Again, the president should have taken note of this ever since. If you got a team you put together, they cannot work together, you take action as the president. The president should have taken note of it. That's the office of the president, and that's even the reason why we discussing this matter. It is the office of the president of the Republic of Liberia. We can have they have never been on a speaking term, I'm told. You can have the deputy press secretary and the press secretary now on a speaking term. This is totally unacceptable. But it's good that the young man resigned. Probably now, if I don't know, and I'm told because of this, I don't think they may even. I don't know. Maybe she'll finally go and appeal to the president and say, "Oh, I got one of my remote person somewhere that I can bring in and control." Maybe that's the kind of thing she wants to see. And she still got the next 2.5 years to do that. So if that would be possible, but this was something. But Jenkins, back to the issue about this Just case. We hearing some issue in the country up to current. Johnny Boda Ding have not been charged. We have not heard anything from the police charging Johnny Ding. Is that correct?
No.
And I think we ought to begin the process now of calling on the police or the Minister of Justice. And before this job, the Minister of Justice was a private lawyer doing well in terms of his private law practice. But it seems to be this job is further exposing this Minister of Justice that after this he's going to be like a pariah now in the Republic if care is not taken.
Sure.
This Minister of Justice is proven to be not only very incompetent, but it looks like he's aiding and abetting a lot of nonsense in the Republic of Liberia currently.
If you remember, the case with the majority and minority blacks, respectively, this was the same justice minister that came out with an opinion, and that opinion,
useless opinion,
was useless, and his approach to that situation was reckless, misguided, immature, and lack of every legal intelligence that should accompany the Attorney General's posture on national issues, especially when it comes to these legal matters surrounding justice. So the Minister of Justice, what he's doing, in fact, it is a posture of a party chairman that he's exhibiting right now, because there is no Minister of Justice that will do that the way he's proceeding. In fact, in Liberia, it is only the Minister of Justice that disagrees with the president, even openly, because the Attorney General has the authority to disagree with the president, since indeed the Attorney General is the chief prosecutor of the government, and anything contrary to the rightful thing or the rightful legal matter that should occur in the Ministry of Justice through the Minister of Justice is in error, is not in line with the law. It falls back on the government negatively, and it creates a dark cloud over the government's ability to provide justice and social welfare. So the Minister of Justice had not been very careful in his utterance. In fact, I listened to him the last time at the Ministry of Information press briefing. He was very threatening. He was threatening us. In fact, he was intimidating our coming on these platforms behind these microphones to provide information to the public by saying, the journalist, if you are coming up with information, you should stay away from intimidating. He said we journalists are intimidating. I know who we intimidating, the people that get guns, that then we intimidating. Just trying to instill fear in people, so that if you even observe in Liberia, I think we and the Spoon Network and maybe a few other or platform, one or two more that will stay on this drug matter. And many of the other platforms, entities have been tightly. I don't know if they were compromised or they are afraid because of the threats coming from the Minister of Justice. Because now the Minister of Justice threats are not empty. They've been realized. They've been accompanied by arrest, summoning. In fact, so many people who are supposed to be summoning them for doing the right thing, they are summoning them. So they are creating, under the Minister of Justice, Councillor Oswald Tuwe, the Ministry of Justice and the entire security apparatus, creating fear in the populace, instilling intimidation in the media landscape, to the extent that the police RG was given the go ahead by the Minister of Justice to even accuse and draw in the media with this drug cartel situation. And all of these, they are the same allegations and accusations coming from other places that even the president himself using to act on officials of government. So why, when it comes to the closing argument, puffering and arguing on these same things that have been used, in fact, by the office of the president to take administrative action, then the Minister of Justice comes out with intimidating statements, comes out with threatening remarks, to wanting to arrest people and putting them behind bars just for taking up the time to come and serve country. It's just, sorrowful on his part. I can say that to you, Pee-wee, Dr. Peabody, and the public. It's sorrowful on his part because there were many Minister of Justice around before he came. There was a Jenkins Scott. There was a Frederick Cheru. There was an Eniton Vama from Bapulu County, and you can name them. So
there was also
there was Ichia Chipo.
There was Kobe Johnson.
There were Kobe Johnson. So if Councillor Oswald Tuwe is thinking that, if he's thinking that position is an inheritance, and because of that he can peddle influence around that position, disadvantaging other Liberians who are law-abiding and peaceful, is worrisome, because it was under this same Minister of Justice a private property was being rushed on by the government as if it was the government's property, to break it down, the headquarters of the CDC, breaking and entering the democratic space by breaking it down and tearing it apart, going after a political party headquarters, rushing to break it down as if the case was a government case. This is the same Minister of Justice under whose authority the brothers were killed in B Mountain era or the King Jaw era. This is the same Minister of Justice. This is the same Minister of Justice that sits over the Ministry of Justice. And Peter Obon Jala allegedly sodomized the young man, the young man who wanted football boosts from him to try to expound on his talent. This is the same Minister of Justice under whose authority, under whose administration, the Capitol building got burned. That sacred temple of our national decision making. It was this same Minister of Justice. This was the same Minister of Justice that meddled into legislative politics, even though Article 3 of the Liberian Constitution prohibits that. But this was the same Minister of Justice that meddled in the legislative politics, trying to take a side and create illegitimacy for the legally elected structure of the legislature.
Yeah.
This is the same Minister of Justice. So the Minister of Justice had just created a situation for himself where after he leaves power, maybe Jenkins Scott could be better than him. And I want to say that he still have time to have a recompense. He still have time to see how best he can change it around and become a better minister of justice that will be remembered in posterity with all of the kindness.
Thank you. Yes, I think the reason why I brought this because we've been seeing the spectacle created by the police chief and the rest of that, even the Attorney General, the case of other folks, Paul King, former Vice President Madam Taylor, but we yet to see the police or the Justice Ministry to come up with charges against Johnny Dean that admitted taking $10,000 from those that are bringing in drugs in the country. 10,000 United States dollars. We told it's hundreds of thousands of dollars reportedly, but they are fixing it. They say only $10,000. But up to now, the police director is saying to us, when they asked him the question the last time in the press briefing, he stated that the CSD, the profession, he now be sent over to CSD. Come on, more than a month, almost 2 months, you stayed talking about CSD. And then already admitted what CSD is doing. That other people, before we can probably draft that, we'll go to the line so Junkie can take some calls before 11 p.m. in Liberia. Why will you charge other folks that are challenging your accusation against them? But then you are not charging one of your own that is admitting dealing with these people.
One of the things, Sylvester, we don't have a real justice system in that country, and that's why you saw how they treated Chairman Kofa. Our whole justice ministers is coming up after the Supreme Court rule. Have you seen here in America when the Supreme Court ruled? Have you seen the Attorney General come and say he interpreting a new interpretation? The great America where we live. This guy came up and they blatantly did it. Nothing happened. At the end of the day, Chairman Kofa had to succumb to their wickedness and the rhetoric and the lies and the foolishness. And that's exactly what is going on. We see another case here again with Samuel Twe. Will they ever listen? The entire Supreme Court is controlled by the executive. What the executive want is what they do. For that reason, that's why they can win a case, because they are not transparent when it comes to these things. They are not transparent, and they want to win a case in a court because they come out with all this charade. When we had the situation at the Capitol building, they were so eager to arrest Chairman Kofa and put him in jail. They just wanted to do it to prove a point. Now they brought all these people from America that are friendly with Wilfred Russell and friendly with the police director. They brought them, they fired a guy from Minnesota, paid them some money. Apparently, they got some cut in it as well. Said they were doing forensic investigation. They were doing all kinds of stuff. Where is the case today? Where is the case today? It has died because they got no further proof. They can't really prove anything because they don't do their due diligence. They rush to make news. And you cannot use the justice system based on your emotional or personal feelings to impress people. And that's what they've been doing. They want to impress so badly so that Liberian people can say, oh yeah, they're doing the work. Take your time. In this country, when the Fed bring charges against you, only God can clear you from it. Because if it takes them 1-2 years to do the investigation, they do it. So when they land the charges against you, you look at your own charges, and you look at even the video of yourself and what you were doing. You can't even say a word. You know that's true.
Yeah, go to the next thing you start talking. Cannot take a plea.
Yeah, you gotta take a plea deed. You know what I'm saying? And that's but they don't do that here. All they are concerned about is creating the person the first day, the nurse, and then everything go down. They don't have their pieces together. They don't have the investment. And the justice minister is a complete disappointment. He should go. Definitely, he should go. I don't know what he's doing. What he understand? I understand he's a legal scholar, but he has not demonstrated a fact that shows what a legal scholar should do. He's always
one of those are practicing. I don't think he's one, man. I don't think so.
He appeared
his private practice. Yeah, very confused.
He appears very disorganized most time. He's very confused. He doesn't know what he's saying. And, so I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible, and that's what we see going on today. Don't you think they would have given the vice president a chance to go where she was going, come back, take your time? If you got this evidence, do your due diligence. But because they want to show a point, is she a flat risk? It matter how a flat risk, that you have to put out those charades, sending people. The woman has an EPS. Okay, the EPS don't take orders from the police. The EPS order is an executive protection stuff. It should come directly from the EPS or the president's office and stuff like that. But the police is sending their place there to block the woman, to do this and to stop her from going, all those kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the problem is the justice minister needs to go. I don't think he understands what he's doing. Unfortunately, he has so many times.
Absolutely. Yeah. The woman got she got an EPS detail. So the only thing you need to do is to communicate through that line. Inform the detail, say, hey, the command structure will come from there to the EPS detail. Say, tomorrow you guys are not leaving with the former vice president. The next morning, when she said, oh, and one of them will go to senior officer there, will go say, ma'am, I don't think it's safe that you leave today. Yeah. So what happened? What happened? Ma'am, can you just even call the Minister of Justice? That's it. That would have been the civil last way to do it. You got the security. That's a chain there. But you already have a government assigned security with the former vice president. Inform the detail. Don't leave. The detail will tell, go to us, say, ma'am, you cannot leave today. I don't think it's safe that you leave today. Then she's going to be curious to further probe. Why am I not expected to leave? Why am I not leaving? Say, ma'am, can you please call the Minister of Justice or the police director? Then she will place call. Then she'll be home. They will arrange everything. If she got any other thing she wanted to say, oh, there's not this, to avoid creating spectacle here, right? And she'll then they will tell her, say, madam, you have to call your lawyer. We need you to the police station by 4 o'clock or by 2 o'clock or tomorrow. Call your lawyer. And you did all those things and she still don't want to come, then you can move folks to the area there, and then the EPS detail will know clearly they will stand down. Because there's an instruction from their high command that he's stand down because she been defiant. The detail will be asked to stand down. And then the police will come down to carry on any other execution along with the court at the time. The sheriff will want there's an arrest warrant for her. The sheriff will kind of issue the arrest warrant. Then the police move to carry on their responsibility. But Junkie said we have the time. We can take a couple of calls. We thought we had the time to do few. Anybody tune to us, everybody that tune, you following us on the closing argument, you can call and talk about some of the things we've been talking about, or pay your tribute to our fallen brother, Janji Bakwe, who unfortunately lost his life yesterday. You can just pay a tribute to him and just explain your encounter if you had the time to do that. If we have the time, Jenkins, we can do it. That will take a couple of calls on that.
Yes, and so I thought before going to the calls, I have a video updating us on the case with the NPA boss, Mr. Sekou Doumbouya. I thought to play, maybe the video can come on. I'm not in control there. But we could listen to the audio.
Yes, please. We can do that quickly because we'll be discussing that part of that. I was going to be our next one, but yeah.
Another fraud story. NPR did a year-long investigation into a Liberian government official who moonlighted as a group home director in the state of Minnesota. Let me say that again. NPR did a year-long investigation, not DHS, not any of our state agencies. NPR did a year-long investigation, which turned into $36 million in taxpayer funds over the last 10 years. In 2020, DeCooley collected $500,000 in forgivable loans during the COVID pandemic. The state found DeCooley linked group homes of their employees' neglected residents in 10 cases. It investigated suspected maltreatment in group homes on at least 22 occasions, 4 of which involved the death of the resident. The state found the 5th resident died because he was improperly discharged. Despite living in Liberia, DeCooley was still running at least 3 Minnesota group homes until last week during the NPR investigation. Following a phone call from a reporter seeking comment on the story, DeCooley abruptly removed himself as one of the directors of the facilities. The allegations outlined in the report are deeply concerning, according to DHS. No kidding. $36 million in 10 years, that should be deeply concerning, and you should have done an investigation. We can say that the owner of the Medicaid program moving abroad would raise concerns of our investigation, even if it's not prohibited by law. Of course it should raise concerns. $36 million was poured into a facility. Police in New Hope were responding to frequent 911 calls about the 2 group homes controlled by DeCooley, including noise violations, fights, overdoses, and one incident where staff found a gun in a resident's room. In total, local police said they responded to 2 addresses 133 times in a single year. This is ridiculous. DHS needs to get on top of this right now. We need to stop this fraud. NPR should not be going out there and doing investigations. We should be using our state resources to do these investigations and put an end to this. This is your hardworking tax dollars that's going into fraud. It's fraud story after fraud story after fraud story, and the state agencies aren't doing anything to stop it. Minnesota Representative.
So, Billy, Dr. Peabody, you just listen to the update from the case regarding Dukley. That Dukley, they may call him Dukley.
Yeah,
that series.
There's a lot of follow up to that about the case moving on, but nothing's gonna come. Trust me, and I know no one is on a campaign here to undermine Mr. Dukley's own role he played back home in the country. But I think our stewardship, we should get accountability of our stewardship whatsoever, particularly when we are public servant, right? But this is getting more deeper, and the fact that and this PPE and the COVID emergency money, say he took $500,000. That's what he got, $500,000, and then I thought I'm marking to buy that. So for free money, man, just up. You know, mad man. So also the mad
man used to bankroll the United Party into winning the 2020.
He's how the person to make it. Man said, "No joy, he won the free post job."
Yeah, but isn't that because of the man, the party chairman, the United Party chairman protested?
Yeah,
because the man was definite.
But other people, before I come to you quickly, let me welcome Mr. Victor Nangwe. Victor, welcome to the closing argument.
Thank you, sir. Good to be with you guys. Happy Monday.
Thank you. Peabody, you listen. 500,000. You're right here, and you saw the. Did you apply for any of those COVID emergency fund too?
I just felt that money was just too good to get it like that, so I didn't do it. It was just not the right thing to do to get it. I just felt it because I saw a lot of people came up to me, "Oh, you got your organization can get this." I'm like, hell no. When it comes to the Fed, they will come back and get you. I know they will come back and get you. I didn't want to do it, but I saw a lot of young people around here. Some people who didn't even have
$100 of billion went into that thing.
Liberians were all around here, riding new cars, doing things. Now a lot of them, they caught some of them. Dr. Cassell got caught up in that mess too. The late Dr. Cassell, he got caught up in that mess too. So a lot of people, but I just felt it was just too good. You don't want to mess with the Fed, man. They'll come back and get you. It take them 10 years. They'll come back and get you. And to get them, his nursing home got money. Look, for this guy, look, I don't know. It's true that he gave President Barker a lot of money during the election time, supported him, gave Jojo them money and everybody else. But this guy his character are tinted. This is the same guy who duped the Chinese man. We saw that whole thing out there in the news. The Chinese man went to Liberia to try to get into court. What did it do? They killed that whole kid. The justice system again. I mean, that should have been a red flag for President Barker to ask that guy to resign after he got into that kind of conflicting issue with the Chinese guy and duping him out of his money. That should have been a red flag. They did nothing about it. When you ask, the man, the case settled. Here we go again. You got a sitting government official who is involved, who business in America is being investigated. and who could probably go to jail, or the U.S. government could probably ask him to be extradited to come back to the U.S. and stand his trial, because they will be indicted. I see people going all around, oh, he never been indicted, he never been charged, he never been this. It's a matter of time. Investigations going on. But with all this going on, you still keep this person in your government to prove what? What kind of asset he is to your government that he will be on an investigation for this kind of huge fraud, and you still keep him there? I know the next time the president get out there again, you'll say he got full confidence in Duque, because Duque getting a lot of money,
from the cap.
you know? So that's what I think.
But Mr. Number, I think we'll just tell you on this one. Then you follow up on other issues. This case is not going nowhere soon.
With another fraud story.
It is not being reported that even beyond the money the state is paying, and he been receiving all those money, but he also got $500,000 in this COVID thing. You know, more people are running business at the time they just pour in, and these are the great opportunity most of them had to get money, right? But if he got the money, and the reason why he got the money for basically was to say, okay, business are not going that time. I need to pay my people. I need to do this. I need to do that. But yet, you're still receiving that money. All of things. You think he's headed for some problem?
Oh, definitely. I think so. You already indicated one of the major concerns there, the COVID money. We know a lot of people got a lot of that money, but a lot of people have also been sent to jail because of that money. I understand it was a forgivable loan, and we all know a forgivable loan is conditional. You know, a certain benchmark you're supposed to reach or touch, and then that loan becomes forgiving. It appears they are indicating that he may not have reached those benchmarks, and because of his absence from the facility itself, his proximity, that is a problem. We all know here there is a lot of concern expressed when you get paid for work that you didn't do. It would seem that him being a director here in Minnesota and resident in Liberia would suggest that he was being paid for work that he didn't do. Then this involves the U.S. taxpayer money. These people take these matters very seriously. You know, U.S. taxpayer money has to be accounted for. And then, worst of all, I mean, there are code words already in there. We mentioned some of those. Money laundering. Wire transfer. Those are the catchphrases that the feds will go after to make sure that the money is accounted for. And then they talk about the conditions and all of that. So I think this case is going to be too difficult for the managing director. Then on top of all of that, you have a Democratic government in Minnesota, and you have a Republican government in Washington, and the Republican government in Washington is openly hostile to the government in Minnesota. They're looking for any and everything to go after this government in Minnesota. We all know the current governor was a running mate to Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, because of a previous situation that sounds similar to what Mr. Duque is now being, accused of. He was going to run for re-election. He decided it wasn't worth the trouble because he knew that yes. So that alone, forced him into retirement. And so the Republicans are going to pounce on this. I think 2 weeks ago, in fact, immediately when this story broke, we reported here that the leader of the Republican in the House had already latched onto this story. She came up with her story, and then a number of Republicans, are stretching this. They're going to go after the Minnesota government. So the Minnesota state government is not going to take the fall for something like this. So I really believe almost 100%. I'm not a financial guy, but I think this story we haven't heard a lot of it yet, and I think it's just starting. So I mean, thankfully for Mr. Duque, like Junkin said, Duque, Mr. Duque has already retained a lawyer. I hope that lawyer is a very good one, because they're going to do everything to nail him. And the reporting that NPR did, NPR is very credible. We all know that, National Public Radio. They're reporting, and this is a year-long report. These people, they brought in a lot of facts, to connect, as we say here lately, to connect the dots. So it sounds like this is a real big deal, and Mr. Dukley will do well to prepare for it. As you indicated earlier, Sylvester, he already had something going on with him in Liberia, and then we're hearing that this Chinese man, the money he's accusing him of defrauding him of, some of that money may have found its way in Minnesota to help him open these group homes. We don't know all of it. So if some of this money found its way back into the UP, that is also going to be a problem. So from all indications, it looks like this is a big deal.
Absolutely, and that is it. It was this. I was just reading a little bit about this because there was a special act the federal government passed, Congress passed in 2020. I think it was in 2020 referred to as the 2020. It was. March, or passed in March of 2020, was called the CARES Act. The CARES Act, it was the CARES Act and the Economic Security Act. The total amount that was structured in this entire thing, it was passed on March 27, 2020, which include stimulus checks. So it came from a level of $2.2 trillion.
There you go.
$2.2 trillion. Imagine. So and I mean, it is presumed that billion will go in account for the board. They want to waive it, but this federal government has indicated here they're going to be investigating those that took it with some criminal intent and that cannot get some justification will be prosecuted. And they're moving on to some of those things too. So it's a very serious situation. But before you just join us, we're just talking basically about the vice president case, the former vice president case also, relative to her update on her incarceration or her arrest, if you will, because she was charged and the charges against her. But I think her anything basically from the government about this situation is. Should we be concerned that the government is tapping on giving her update about her story?
Yeah, I think we should be, as has been with this case, Sylvester, the lack of transparency. I can understand the need to protect the investigation itself. I get that, but there is also a responsibility on the part that this government has to its citizenry. This is public office. This is not a private institution that they're running. They're running the government. It's a public office, and they are responsible to the public. They're supposed to keep us informed, So there are this particular drug case has lots of moving parts. There is the part that you just mentioned, the situation with the vice president, that is concerning. Then there is the situation with the police IG, with all the allegations flying all over the place about, receiving gifts here and there. The justice minister now has been thrown into the fray. I read the statement he issued last night. Already the fact checkers are saying that the statement is riddled with falsehood. And, so there is a lot going on for which the government needs to mount the podium every day, as in every functional democracy. You come on the podium every day. If they have to go to the Ministry of Information or wherever they go, you go there every day and you update us on what is happening. We're not telling you to give all your tactics and methods on what you're doing, who you're pursuing, and all of that. No, but you tell us, for instance, the status of the vice president. She is our former vice president. She's in the hospital. You're supposed to tell us how she's doing. What is the state? I mean, there are lots of reporting we've seen that she was injected, wrongly, and all of that stuff. The speculations, they will percolate until you come out to give us what the facts are. And so because of that, yes, they're supposed to come and give us an update on what is happening. We're hearing that the vice president might be going to court tomorrow. but they are caused by other people that, because of a health situation, they may want to give us, a house arrest situation. They got to tell us what they are doing, how they are proceeding. It's not a favor. It's not optional. This is mandatory because they are in public office. They're responsible to the public. They're supposed to come and update us and tell us what is happening. So yeah, they haven't done that. I have absolutely no update on what the vice president situation is. I have not been able to gather anything. I've tried nothing. I haven't seen anything. So I don't know. I don't know the state of a condition, whether it is very serious, whether she's, they're observing her, she's recovering. I have no idea. That is because there's no information available. To make matters worse, people have tried to go and see her. Her lawyers, they is reported, the Human Rights Commission. All of these people, these are rights people that are supposed to gain access to the accused, because they have to come back and report to the outside world her condition objectively. And they have denied them access. The IG argued that she's in a hospital setting. It's not a police station, but almost everywhere they have visiting time, even in the hospital. I think she's allowed to see people. Let the hospital say, she's not well, you can't see her now. But the IG is not a doctor. He can tell us, whether she's in a condition or not to get visitors. But that's what he's telling us. So this whole thing, the lack of transparency, it is not working in the favor of the government. If they haven't found out yet, word on the street is that they're covering up everything because they want to be selective in attacking this case, and that's not good for them.
Absolutely, and it's really not good for them and the rest of that. Junkies, is it still possible that we can do a couple of calls?
Sure. We can take few calls.
Yeah,
We can
please.
take few calls.
Yeah.
So this is the closing argument. We are live here on Freedom FM 87.9. We are also simulcast on other sister radio stations around the country, like Care Radio, Radio Baizu. And we are live on Truth FM 96.1. My name is Junkies Morris. Honorable Sylvester Peewee is here tonight on the closing argument. Honorable J. Victor Nangwe is here. Yeah, honorable people who are serving their country with dignity.
Junkies, let me break it up quickly, right? I was listening to you as I was getting ready to come on. I gotta say, you're very solid. I listened to your analysis on what is happening. You're pointing out the biases from the Attorney General in giving access to certain media houses and terming other media houses as Radio Kigali and all of that. I was really I was heartened by the fact that you're on our team. So I got to give you your props, and I'm sure all the other guys, Anthony and the rest of you, you're doing a wonderful job. So I wanted to let you know that much appreciation. And not because you're from Maryland. I don't like your politics because you are Buford Chambers man. So I got to give it to you. I was very impressed, and I wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Call us on those numbers on 0776 104 104, 0776 104 104. You can call us on 086.
That is Maryland collabo.
Hey, you brother-in-law already.
I genuinely are going to body and say something. Junkies go ahead.
086 500 104. Our first caller on this line. Your name and where are you joining us from? Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the first time speaker. The process with the investigation, trust me, the investigation will be done to cover all only to conceal what Madrid told and they don't want them to do. So they will be attacking, they will be arresting, and they will be having no other custody and cover people that they will be arrested. One, the former president, she has relatives, she has children, there's no law that if he is arrested criminally, when he kill somebody, it's a walk off that nobody can talk to her. No, not at all. It is only because they arrested our president and or a political party coming up. This is the reason why those that were accusing the thing for the seven, they want to say the accident at the show and PA, what you call it, to put for investigation. Now, I don't know when I will have time again to talk to you on the station. There's a serious issue in this country that the people want to use drugs so that we can pay attention to. And that drug thing is not embarrassing our country, it is embarrassing the whole world. But what is embarrassing our country now, I don't know what I'm saying.
You are live. Go ahead quickly.
What is embarrassing our country now, you find that Susanna Louis, the plan that we celebrate today, if you were to ask me whether we should celebrate day today, I would tell you no. If you give us 2 hours flat down, you have to have an 8 hours flat up, celebrate Friday. You got 1,000 people in God, you have Burkina on our soil, you have to think about it. Kenya on our soil, you have to think about it. They bring in another 1,000 persons from America to Nigeria. Sooner or later, when the boys, when they probably leave in the chair, they already sold the country that now we come to become a slave. So we want to use that policy to attract your attention. You got Guinea, in Lufa, you got Burkina Faso, in Grand Guinea. You get people from America who are specially experts. 1,000 people to come into a country.
Okay.
Where 2 other men can cover the whole entire country and overthrow government. Now, better, they draw your finger after your draw your attention to the volunteer and the people that are coming in the country that they are terrorists and what that is you know what you're doing.
Okay. We'll leave you there. We'll leave you there and go to line 2. This caller, your name and where are you joining us from?
Yeah, good evening, brother. My name is Adam L. Fofana. I'm calling from Tuboro, bro. Joaquin Morris.
Go ahead.
You see, my brother, just let me continue to speak loosely and because they know what they are protecting. But nothing is wasting away. What they call karma, they will still come back. I don't care what you can do, what you present of everything is fair, no matter what happens. The truth will come to light. When they stay on for long, people get a virus. No matter how they day by the same, they will bury it. No matter what they can do, well, of we are in the country. We can't afford to these different,
Okay. We'll leave you there and go to line 3. No time. This call. Hello. Where are you joining us from? Oh, that caller sleep. Call us on those numbers 0776 104 104, 0886 500 104. And our diaspora callers can call us on our WhatsApp line +231 886 500 104, +231 886 500 104. This is the closing argument, and we are live here on Freedom FM 87.9 and also Truth FM 96.1. Call us and be live. This call, your name and where are you joining us from? Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, you see, what we discussed here for the drug issue, you know, the main people that are supposed to go beyond, they don't want to go beyond. They're trying hard to cover up all of this drug issue. But you see, we just sit down Washington. Whosoever hand in the job, and they already do who they all hand into the job. But we just watching them waiting for something now. After the election, we're bringing everyone back up. We're not saying that it will come out. Everyone will come out. We're just watching them. That's the president what he's doing. You feel like get all the putting the other down because you know putting the other down all the secret without just so that one he's still keeping it. So without watching, we're only waiting. President now we'll get to do our waiting on it.
Okay. Okay, we just waiting. That was a caller that is waiting on 2029. Welcome. Your name and where are you joining us from? Oh, that caller slipped. So, Mr. Peewee, while we are waiting calls. Yeah, while we are waiting calls, you can go on.
Okay. Yes. Mr. Number, so that is actually part of what we've been discussing about the whole situation. I know it's not going to go down anytime soon, but we also are looking at the engagement of the opposition. We haven't heard. I mean, I know the CMC being one of those very vocal to admit the CMC being very vocal about this job situation. They've been coming out with a lot of position statement and recommendations at a certain point in time. And but my question to you is: should we as people, or should the opposition rally the people of Liberia to really call the government attention to this situation? That as the president said, there's going to be no sacred cows. Now we're now seeing most of those basically arrested in the connection with this people from the opposition, some major from the opposition, the former vice president, but most of those that were even inside the national security forces, we don't see too much of seriousness attached to it. Should we be concerned to call on government to be very clear as to how they're going in terms of the investigation?
Yeah, I mean, quickly, let me talk about the opposition. You're right. I still maintain that the opposition has not been as robust as it is supposed to be. And I also acknowledge that the CMC is doing its part. But we have, I think, over 40 political parties right now in the country. So if usually it's either the CMC, the CDC, and ANC. We hardly hear from any other. But today, as you know, the finance minister was the orator today for the Flag Day. To us, we're reading that as the UP testing their candidates for 2029. So Minister Gaffron came out today. You know what it means when a potential candidate is giving a platform as big as this, because the entire nation is at a standstill. So he has a captive audience that he is auditioning to. But he made a lot of good points. But the CMC already has come out with a statement. The political leader, he came through here. He's probably still in Europe on his way back home, but the team in Liberia, they put out a statement. These are the points that we pointed out. We agree with most of what he said. We think the problem is the implementation. So one, we want him, the Minister of Finance, to publish the complete documentation and legal authority for expenditures flagged in the audit report. The GSC did an audit report. There are a lot of discrepancies. The GSC itself is underfunded. I think they've only done about 65% of what they're supposed to do. They are at 65% capacity. And, we don't know whether it is intentional. We have to conclude, because if the GSC must be effective, it has to be funded. We all know almost all of the integrity institutions in Liberia are underfunded, which is making it impossible for them to do their job. Two, the CMC is saying, we want a complete release. We want to complete and release the revenue reconciliation report together with an action plan, responsible institutions, and firm deadlines. Three, we want to provide the General Auditing Commission with adequate, timely, and independent funding and implement its recommendations. The recommendations that GSC put forth. Four, we want him to complete the reform for meaningful public disclosure of officials' asset. We talk about the asset declaration. This is important. We're seeing some of the guys in government now, they came with nothing. And overnight, we talk about, I think Mike Kuya or Johnny Bolade, one of them, building, a fortress in a few months. And 4.5, we wanted to publish regular transaction level expenditure information so the public can track budget execution and results. He declared that, yeah, they're on track to raise $1 billion, but that is really nothing. He has to tell us in context. If the budget is not impacting the life of the people, you can raise $5 billion. It doesn't mean anything. We want him to show us the results. How is the budget impacting the ordinary person? Almost everybody put a microphone in front of them to tell you things that was than they were 2-3 years ago. So whether the budget is they're on track to reach, to raise $1 billion, that is good. But how is the money being applied? And then 6, finally, we want him to apply accountability consistently without political selection, protection, or excuses. So that is the CMC's response to the Flag Day, oration today by Minister Gaffron. I'm almost certain the ANC will come out with something like that, and I believe the CDC will. So yeah, but again, like I said, it can't just be 3 parties always speaking on behalf of the entire opposition. There are a lot of us. We need to come together. I mean, we have Sir Joseph. He has his party. Where are all these people? We want them to join the opposition. Now, coming back to your question, yes, within this process, there is a lot of selection that is, selective execution of the mandate of this government. We know that there are a lot of these people who were accused in this. Today, Martin Colley published a list of them. I can't keep track, but remember we started with Michael Brown and Oscar Brown. These people, one was in Asia attending the conference. What has happened to those people? I don't know. Then the King brothers, one is in detention. Paul is in detention. Where is Peter? I don't know. Where is Marquia? Where are these people? Are they in detention or not? These are the updates that we expect the government to be telling us, but they're not. And it seems like they are vigorous in going after the opposition than they are with the people who have been a part of the rescue team. We talk about the way the vice president's, arrest was executed compared to some of these people. We talk about Paul King. I keep saying it. Paul King was in the police station. We saw him with only a water bottle in his hand, walking up and down. Whereas the vice president, a former first lady, a former senator, a former vice president, was hustled. I mean, I don't even want to go there. Everybody has seen that. The contrast is very clear. So, there are concerns. And I think the opposition, we need to speak out. I understand the former vice president who the former president who this vice president was second to is coming back to the country from Nigeria. We're waiting. What I hope is they're not going to do is to protest her detention. I think they should talk about the process, but I don't think it would be wise for them to protest against this investigation for this drug. I think they should emphasize that the law should be the law. It should take its course, but they should also advocate for equal application of the law across the board, which, to our observation, is not what is happening right now as it is.
Absolutely, and I'm reliably told that even for his statement, I don't think there's going to be any protest. They're going to speak through the laws and of the country and the rest of that. They're going to call for the equal application. If you are treating the poor this way, it should be applied to the other side of it. They believe that there should be no level of miscarriage of justice, and there should be no particular sugar darling treatment for certain classification of people. Then the rest will suffer the wrath of the government reckless. So I think that's what he's going to more or less amplified tomorrow upon his return.
And so that would be the clear definition of no sacred cows, because it looks like this government is talking on both sides of his mouth. They will say no sacred cows, but at the same token, there seem to be sacred cows. The president also, look, I hear people saying, the president, Mike Quia was like a foster son to the president. Of course, he can afford to sacrifice a foster son, but what about his own son, right? His own son has been accused, Where is the investigation into that matter? I think the president should be the one who should be concerned in clearing his son's name. I'm surprised that this president is not prioritizing an independent board of inquiry to investigate his matter and clear his son. You should do that. What we see is, rescue people, they serve exonerate themselves. The foreign minister, my best friend Sarah, she was accused. The deputy minister came here. We asked him, he said they're not going to court. She issued a statement exonerating herself, but that is not enough. You need an independent body to go in it. That would be more, that would be more transparent, more trustworthy than you yourself clearing yourself. The president's on the same thing. He issued a statement exonerating himself. If that is not enough, I can issue a statement. You accuse me, I issue a statement. I say I didn't do it. That is what you expect me to say. But you want Junkie to do the investigation, who has no fish to fry in this matter, and say, you know what, Mr. Nangwe was clear, or Mr. Nangwe is not entirely in the clear. I thought the president would do that. They're not doing that. And then when he said no sacred cow, what exactly does he mean? It's unclear to me.
Yeah, and these are the same question we're asking, but they're saying that the police have not seen any probable cause to invite these people. Like the former, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, they believe allegations about who's the allegation against there's no need to, because there's no weight, nothing whatsoever in that to invite her. The accusation from those guys accusing on the video, accusing the son of the president, they say they are not seeing nothing to invite her also. The point is that I don't know. Then my question to them now is, what did you see in Madam Taylor? And they said they got more. So we're with them to come up with these things. But Johnny Nanda admitted, what I'm hearing is that they want to use Johnny Nanda as a state witness.
Right.
Now, how can you use someone as a state witness? First and foremost, tell us what he did before.
Yeah.
He linked to this. Can you charge him? They don't also, okay, we can drop the charges, but kind of let us know. So the fear is that Johnny is threatening to talk out, and certain powerful individual in the government, they don't want you to do so. So they say, okay, no. But Johnny said, if you charge me, I will speak up. So okay. And then how do we manage this? So they still got Johnny home, taking his pay.
Of course.
On a very powerful VIP treatment.
And I understand these guys are boasting that nobody will touch them.
Yeah. Johnny they may not touch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there goes the question. Then what are they? Are they not sacred cows? If the president said there will be no sacred cows, and these people, when they become untouchable, doesn't that make them sacred cows? So look, this thing, Sylvester, because I'm hearing that we'll have to talk so. I'm hearing that there are some former government officials, the immediate past government, who may also they may be called in to testify of their involvement. I understand that I think the guy who was resident in Philadelphia, the assistant minister, what's his name, who was fired. I understand he was recommended by the former minister of state, Nathaniel Fowler McGill. This gentleman, what's his name?
What's his minister?
Not Christopher, not the guy from NSA. There's another deputy. When his name comes to my mind, I would say it. But he was. I'm sorry. No. This person was in government. He was a minister in this current government, and I think either from defense or so. I will find a name. I'll tell you. So apparently it was because there are people who are still there are some holdovers from the previous government who I think were in this government, though in different capacities. But I understand he was recommended by Minister McGill. I understand the former port manager in Buchanan, Bill Twawe. I understand his name is coming up, and so there is a lot that is happening. But this government is having difficulty, I think, trying to separate, you understand me, who is on the rescue team and who is not. When the law is supposed to be blind, we all talk about, that bill over the Liberty Statue of Liberty, because the law is supposed to go wherever, the facts lead. But I think they're struggling too much, trying to cover up, trying to separate it, just like you said, that Johnny is threatening to spill the beans, and they have no control over when the beans are beginning to spill publicly. And I think they're trying to manage this thing, to choreograph the whole investigation. And that is where I think the difficulties lie. So I'm wondering too, I understand the Americans are helping in this, the Moroccans are helping in this. So I don't know exactly to what extent, they understand and they're aware of what is happening. But I think they can hold the lid over this thing for so long. I think it will become increasingly difficult for them to continue to keep everything under wrap as they are doing. Somebody's going to come out and begin to spill the beans very quickly. And I think if they don't take care of this government, if they're not careful, it's going to collapse, because I understand there are a lot of people in this government. You remember the former LDE deputy, when he said that, we all talked about it briefly and left it alone. Guy Fokpa. Fokpa was in a position to know a lot of stuff that you and I don't know. And he publicly said that, look, this drug business in this country here, there are a lot of people involved in it, from the executive to the legislature to the judiciary. He said that. Gregory Coleman himself came out and said, there are lots of big people in government involved in this thing here. So I think the problem is trying to separate, they're bringing the little people in little by little, and then the big people, they will put them somewhere, try to watch them and bring the little pieces and throw it at us and all of that. But I think sooner or later that strategy is going to hit a brick wall, and I think they will be compelled to come clean on what is happening. But we'll be watching.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the basis of what is going to. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing a lot of things coming up, but we hope to engage the government and hear from those also discussing and see where we're going to go, because it's not going to be about this. But I'm glad that the political institution, the CMC, other political parties are also actively engaged with this matter. It's important because it's about the country legacy, right? The forward march of the country, if care is not taken, and the rest of that, But
so I gotta go.
Yes, I know that I was just getting to you. Will be also closing by 8. So
okay,
we want to hear from you, and so you can just give your closing statement.
Yes, like Mr. Namwe just said, former officials of government are to be called in to give their side of the story. I think all Liberians, we need to give this a chance. All we calling on the government to do is to allow a level playing field, to allow egalitarianism, treating everyone with equal respect, because this drug issue, we as a people, we do not care about position or status. Once you are involved with this drug issue, and the same way we will call on the president to make it speedy that his son, name that was mentioned by members of the cartel allegedly, for him to be called in and give his side of the story like it is done with other people, to include the former vice president. Then with that, we have a balance of the situation. Then the tensions that are just trying to creep, we quench when we do it transparently. I want to call on the former leader of our country, Mr. President, Dr. George Manuel Weah. I know him to be a very peaceful man. I think that his coming to Liberia we add more ingredient to our peace. And I want to believe his arrival will allow seditions, overzealous seditions, to calm the nerves, because I listen in street corners almost all over the place. There are some young seditions, young people who may not understand at that level how governance is. So they will just see it from a point of view of enthusiasm. So I want to urge them to come. Since the leader is coming, let us go by the rule of law. I close by saying this. He was at the national, let's say the Nigerian National Bar Association program on yesterday. I think it was the 66th anniversary. And he was keen on the rule of law, following the rule of law, protecting the law, protecting every citizen, guarding the country, and guarding our future and democracy with the rule of law. So let us focus the law. Former officials that may be called in, nobody knows who is who. Probably the facts are available. That's why those people are being called in. All we need to do is treat everyone with dignity. Don't try to show segregation, which will not be good for the process. So I urge the government to speed up the investigation. Make sure those that should be arraigned before court as soon as possible be arraigned, so that this matter be drawn to a logical conclusion. Because we as a country, we have a lot of things to do, like the other caller said, the border situation and people encroaching on our land, violating our territorial integrity is not being looked at keenly by all of us Liberians. And we are now just focused on this drug situation, even the situation with the NPA boss being involved with, I would say, alleged corruption, double dipping. All of those things are not really being focused, just this drug issue. So all of us, we need to know that this is the only place we belong. This is our country. Let us place intelligence and reasonable judgment above our feelings, our emotions, and insinuation. Then we'll be a better place. Liberia will be safe, peaceful, and Liberia will become prosperous and developed. Thank you. God bless every one of you, and hope to be here on tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Thank you, and have a very pleasant night.
Thank you, Jenkins. Have a good night.
Good night.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so Ms. Namit, basically that's it. You know, the country we are set to go to elections come 2029.
Right.
A lot of things are currently unfolding in terms of and this drug situation is, I think, it's an extraordinary distraction for the Unity Party. They should more or less be focused on creating more jobs opportunity for the people, improving our very poor infrastructure stage, right? Trying to improve the infrastructure level of the country, trying to improve the health sector of the country, the educational sector of the country. I don't even want to talk about rural connectivity. Then you have the drug situation here. They're struggling. Do you think this is a game over already, or they still got room to redeem themselves?
Well, I mean, I have to be as optimistic as can be, but it is starting to look like that, because you're very right. I think the way they are handling this drug case, it is consuming a lot of oxygen. A lot of oxygen. I think it is a distraction for them, unfortunately. We pointed out here to the Deputy Minister of Information the other day that he is one of those people who is stepping on the message of this government every time. He comes out, he sucks up the oxygen because of the way he expresses himself. I think they're having difficulties communicating what it is that they're doing for the Liberian people. And so, this is just another unwanted distraction that is going to overshadow, whatever gains they are making. It will be difficult to communicate anything right now with all of this happening. And this is why it is in their interest, to deal with this thing and deal with it quickly and put it to bed. I understand some charges are coming. I listened to Henry Costa on another platform yesterday, who is not the government, but surprisingly, he has become the spokesperson for the government. Seems to have a lot of inside information. I don't know what that says about, protecting, the government, secrecy.
He's not charges coming for who?
According to him, there are charges coming this week for most of these people. Who's some of the names that we've been calling here? some of these people that we were saying, for instance, I don't think Johnny Bolladin, for instance, has been charged. I don't know if he has. So I understand there are charges coming. So maybe they're getting ready because according to what Mr. Costa was saying, that you think the investigation has been is over. And so now they will begin to move into the courts now to bring these people to trial. So the sooner they get rid of this, the sooner they wrap it up, I think the better it will be for them because time is running out. But let me just say this quickly because you brought that up too. The CMC, through the political leader, through his usual letter from Saclay, which he issues every Sunday without fail, he is calling on the president to choose his own legacy, right? And the CMC is making the point that, first of all, the president should not run for re-election. And we are not in the business of advising the president on his political life. But there are some practical reasons why we're saying this. One, the president is 81 now. Around the elections, he would have been around 84 or so. And when he's inaugurated at the end of the second term, he'll be in his 90s. Look across Africa and tell me who is the other 90-year-old we know. This guy from Cameroon, Paul Biya. You see Paul Biya walking and shuffling? You understand me? We don't want our president to be at that stage. Why? Look, the presidency is both mentally and physically exacting, Sylvester. One, as the president of Liberia, you see our president dedicating toilets. They let him do everything. You understand me? He has to go to birthdays. He has all over the place. You're talking about 85, 86, 87-year-old going to these places. That takes a physical toll. Then mentally, you have to sit and go through the decision of, okay, I know Joel Howard Taylor. She's my daughter. But now they brought me all of this information. Should I go ahead and let the law take its course, or should I just paddle? Should I just go ahead and paddle? All of these things, they take a mental toll on you as a person, Nora Finda Bondo. I understand she's the president's niece. She's a kissy girl. So all of these things he's dealing with, mentally, they take a toll on you. You understand me? So now you got to sit through all the briefing. How long you and I, look, I'm in my 60s. You have my wife here. Sometimes we get an invitation, we say, yes, we're going to go. But when the time is approaching, the body is telling you, yes, you can't make it today.
Yeah. Your sister. Now somebody in there, almost in the 80s already.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then look, the president is not the most healthy president. With all due respect, he got a pacemaker. You understand me? We know how tired you get, and he's trying to go through this. Those are just some of the reasons. Second, when he does that, that relieves him of the burden of trying to be politically correct. Because right now he's trying to protect the next election cycle, the campaign. All that. He doesn't want to do things that will impact the next election run. If he does that, then those who want to run, as he said, for the vice president or the finance minister, then they will get out of the government and they go and start running because now they know he's not running. That will free them up to go and campaign. Then they leave this government. Only those people who are committed to now will remain in this government and serve this government diligently. And those who have to worry about tomorrow, as in 2029, get them out of the government. But he's mixing the two up, and I think this is what is giving so much difficulty because there are people in this government who are doing everything to protect tomorrow. They run when they start to run, and that is conflicting everything that this president is doing. And so we're advising him he should announce that he will not run, and he should not run. Then that will give him the opportunity to do well here and protect his legacy. Otherwise, he will lose both. He will not succeed here, and he may fail in running because we're not going to let him win again. I can tell you that. The CMC is coming. We're rolling. So, clearly, I know my UP friend would not like this. Some of them have already, started talking about it. It's not our place to tell the president what to do. But there are practical reasons why we're making this suggestion to him. It's just a suggestion. Because you mentioned election, I had to bring that up. But that's what we're telling him. Let him consider this. Make an announcement, get it out of the way. Those who want to be in election, let them go ahead and begin their campaign and all of that. It will free them up. Because right now they're watching. They don't want to overstep. They don't know whether he's going to run, not to offend him. But we know the vice president is going to run if the president doesn't run. But he needs to give them time early enough. Let's not do it like Kamala Harris, who had 2 or 3 months to run her campaign because Joe Biden was in her way the whole time. That didn't give her enough time to go to the people and explain herself. He doesn't want to put his people in that situation.
Yes, that is obvious. But I'm told from some insider that he's going to contest. Anybody that will say to him, "Don't contest," I'm told you'll be expelled from the Unity Party or the government.
You'll be sent out the reservation.
Yeah, he's going to contest. What I don't know is that if he's going to win. I don't know, but he's going to contest. Clearly, he's going to contest. The folks in the Unity Party believe that their best chance back to the presidency is Ambassador Boakai, President Boakai. They believe that an attempt to bring Kun against anybody, it will be troubling for them. So I think Kun on his own. He lacks the wherewithal to stand in political contestation in terms of a robust kind of a campaign, because a lot of things going to play against him, if you will. A lot of things he's not that politically savvy to deploy to kind of a very comprehensive way of debating the issue to gain the confidence of the people to vote for him. Remember, there's going to be a lot of stereotyping, if you will, relative to his orientation, if not. So you need someone, but personally, you will have to get the time. So their thought process is that for the old man to contest, get the job done, and then maybe the old man, if the old man cannot reach the finish line, up to 2035. Then the old man can call it a day, throw in the towel, and then step aside. Then Kun can come and finish the old man's second term, prepare himself more into the presidency.
You say you being a government official, to be government is sweet, right? Look, let me tell you, that was the argument that the late Senator Johnson was making. Remember, in this very government that's serving now, that was the argument President Johnson was making to the people of Nimba, that look, our son is a heartbeat away, and we know this president. There was expectation that the president might not go to the full term of this, but look where we are. Exactly. So I think that argument, it can be made, and it is possible, but I don't know if the president. I've heard that argument that he might be the only person who can actually win this thing for them. And if he does, yes, he might probably hang around for 6 months to a year and then pass it on to the VP to finish that term, making it stronger for the next round. I've heard that argument. But look, let me tell you, the president came into this presidency. First of all, he came in, you saw the margin at which he won, right? People were still kind of trying to feel him out, though he was the vice president. But he made a case that he was never given the opportunity. He was a parked car in a garage. So now the people are giving him the opportunity. When he runs again, he'll be running against his record. Well, what is the record that he's going to be running against? That is a question that he will make him answer. What is the president going to be running against? It's not anymore that the squeaky looking clean Joseph Boakai, who people imagine him to be, this guy who being government and still he said he was broke, living on loan because he refused to steal from the government. Because that's why he's trying to imply he didn't steal from the government, he's living on loan, then he said he could make a deal with the devil. How could the two go together? If you're making a deal with the devil, we all know the devil doesn't bring good deals, but that's what he said. But all of that, based on that, people gave him the opportunity. So if he's running again, he'll be running on his record of performance. And that is why the argument they're making that he may be the only person who could take them across the finish line. I don't know if that is an argument I would go with if I was on their team. But if they want to come with that argument, yes, let them come with it. We'll be ready. I mean, we have, they have given us enough material that we will be using against them, from the no-cost plug in the money 90 days. So, I mean, there is a lot we have.
That's a very powerful point, Mr. Nangwe. And he's going to, and the argument, and that's the argument. Oh, he's the only person they believe, because they believe that he's political, he got some message, his popularity, and more than that, he will make the case better than Kun would do. But I have, to the contrary, believe that Kun was even more younger than the old man.
Yes.
He should be more prepared to bring a forceful debate than the woman. Why will you be saying the younger person can make the case? And I mean, your campaign is hell of a problem. But you're right. He's not going to be contesting on the knee of the same party we have for the old man Joe Boakai, Uncle Joe. People say they probably now suffer behind the thing and we are being the last one. So a lot of people have sympathy. They say, so at the man, you have the country at heart. I think it's part of the reason why many gravitated towards him. The sympathy, those kind of a sympathy, right? They say, okay, let's just vote for the old man. But this time around, it's not going to be sympathetic towards him. They're going to say this man is the cause that I don't have a job. Or this man is the cause that a lot of jobs coming to this country. This man is the reason that this country is very stable. This man is the reason that when he served our agricultural LPMC, we have widespread of agricultural activities spread across the country. This man is the reason why we are self-sufficient. This man is the reason that electricity is all over the country. This man is the reason that our children are going to good schools. This man is the reason that our school fees and other things is being managed. This man is the reason. So the record is what's going to speak for him.
That's right. The record. And let me tell you this. In addition to those very salient points that you're making, look, if you have to go outside of your government, as in going to Henry Costa, to come and make your case, that is a problem. You know, you have the big mouth.
Make case.
I mean, this government right now,
who will make case for them now?
Henry Costa.
Then it will be dead on arrival.
Thank you very much. But that is what they're doing now.
He lost complete relevance.
Jeremy Pierre is there. Daniel Sano is there. Fagon, Eugene Fagon is there. They have all these people. If they're not credible enough to make their point, that is just the point I'm making, that we will stick it to them and we're waiting, we're ready,
Absolutely. It's going to be difficult for them. All these people, nobody's going to listen to anybody.
No. And they made a mistake with that whole cash reloaded thing. They exposed their hand. Every day they go and get over there,
I don't think Costa himself will even, he will do it because for him, even somebody can say, the man feel what.
No, but if you listen to him yesterday, he leaked, without leaking, how they do it, that they contemplating making him Minister of Information. That's what he said yesterday. So maybe they realize now that he has to be in the government, because like we're saying, they have to go outside of the government to bring in an explainer on behalf of the government. That is a problem. I mean,
for the reason of getting a job, yeah, it's good for him. But he's not gonna change nothing, right? The difficult aspect of things now, I'm told he's even struggling to find the money to get the Class B lesson thing. He's trying to find money to register for this year, get his lessons renewed, the renewal of the lesson online. Probably they'll have to find something and push into it, and as he moves through these things. But nothing's going to change even if you're going to be appointed Minister of Information. The fact that he played a very pivotal role with this old man, and Kim said, listen, he lost that line. So to come and say, now the only thing I can say to anybody here quickly is that the President of the Republic of Liberia, and as you correctly stated, is going to run on his records.
Yeah.
What the president have done. No level of propaganda is going to help change the mind of the Liberian people.
Yes.
And I'm critically, and I've been critically looking at this situation. I've been into a lot of elections in Liberia and understand the psyche of the Liberian people. Now, with things that are unfolding, it's not good. Things will have to just change for the good in line of the United Party to change this thing now to get on top of this situation. And that's going to be a very difficult fight come 2029.
I tell you this, Sylvester.
No level propaganda.
I think this is one of the reasons the CDC will make it a point to always let the people know that most of the major projects that the government is announcing are projects that they initiated, that the government is completing. There's a reason for that, because of the same thing we're talking about. Come 2028, 27, they will be asking them, well, what did you originate and complete on your own? Because the CDC is going to tell them, oh, what are you going to tell us? The what road? The ELWA, RI road. Well, we started that project. That is why, even though we try to reduce it to, the plane, who started and who finished it, but there's a reason why the CDC is doing that. Mm-hmm. And it's smart on their part, because they want to establish that this government has to have its own record on its own 2 feet. And they're saying most of the major things that this government is announcing as its accomplishments were started by them. And so, yes, they have to tell us what a record is. What are they going to tell us about the FOIA project? Is that what they're going to tell us? We will see, because that project right now in itself is starting to be an albatross on their necks.
Yeah.
You know, up to now, they can tell us who the project belongs to, who is funding it, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, they have to bring their own record. And if the president believes he has a record that the Liberian people will gravitate towards and return him back into the mansion, then that's an argument they should make.
Serious argument. Serious argument. So that's going to be the case, Mr. Lambe. But I think but we're going to pay some very and with these things that are unfolding currently in the country about the drug situation, about lack of jobs opportunity for the country, and then you see the University of Liberia, there's problem. The Faculty Association and the Independent Staff Association are all on go slow. I don't know if things have changed, right? All these things, and they're demanding 40% increment of his salary and the improvement of the other activities at the level of the University of Liberia. These are critical situations to be unfolding at that level and other things. So we ought to be extremely mindful as to how we engage these things, and folks that will come and sit and say, okay, we just say this for the parties. It's not just going to be about the politics, it's going to be about what you've done for the people of Liberia. They're going to move through. Liberians are not just going to sit and say, okay, we're going to vote again for, the papier. No. This is going to be a change game. A lot of folks are frustrated, they're disillusioned, and the few that are benefiting from the largest of the system, when they come and say, okay, we want to do this, want to do this. Even those that are still benefiting, they're trying to get them something to do. They're still struggling to pay their fees and to get active in terms of operation and the rest of that. So but we call it a day. Mr.
Okay. So let me thank you very much. Let me quickly acknowledge Saturday, my community here, we had a little outdoors program. So I didn't write down the name. So if you give me the opportunity, let me just appreciate a few people. Guys like Magnus Say, James Rado, Dua Molu, Patricia Dixon, Hayford Japa, Patricia Japa, Morris Bolo, Ernestine Bolo, Ernest Bolo, the Bolo family. I just wanted to thank them. My community has been dormant for quite a while, so I just wanted to thank all of the organizers. Dr. George Zuba. I'm not going to remember everybody, but I just wanted to thank them for bringing the community together. We had a wonderful time. Dr. Richardson and the husband, they joined us. My wife, of course, was with me. So I just wanted to send a shout out to my South Jersey team. Great work, guys, and thank you very much. Looking forward to us coming together again. But thank you very much, Sylvester. It's been a great show, man. Let's do it again tomorrow. I hope Jerome is all right. My Bassa boy. I know he's somewhere finding time to swallow down, but he's moving. One of his daughters, he has twin girls. So this is the first time they're going to be apart. One is in Florida, and the other one is moving to DC because of what she wants to do, her career. So she wants to go in the place, where her career is actually, being put to work. So he's, driving from Florida all the way to DC, helping the girl move in, and then drive back to Florida. So he might be with us tomorrow. I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah. But I've been communicating with him via text message and other thing. He said the move is complete now.
Yeah.
The daughter is well situated. He met with the roommates and the rest of that. He went to church yesterday, and the process is okay, and that's going to be something. He sent some very fantastic.
How relieving it is, right, Sylvester, when the whole family together, the wife and the children. Now you can't be looking over your shoulder, right? You just enjoying yourself. You understand me?
Yeah. It took some time off yesterday to attend church to the Metropolitan AME Church,
right,
in Washington D.C. It's a historic church, and then to see, it's a good thing to see your daughter going for internship in the nation, the most powerful country.
It's a good thing. It's a great thing.
So I guess he'll be. I know he's on his commute. I guess he's on his way back now. You're already back, and it should be a 10 to 11 hour drive.
Yeah, probably more than that. He did tell me, but you might be, but I think it's a little bit more than what you were saying. He told me, I forgot, but it's a pretty long drive,
Yeah,
you
from
know.
the East
But
Coast, from I know from New York to Florida, it should be around 11 hours thereabouts drive.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I drove from Delaware before to Georgia.
Right.
So yeah, Georgia,
And
Atlanta, and
I haven't looked at it, but I know he's coming from Florida. He has to come towards, Philadelphia, and then branch on to go to DC. So yeah, it might be maybe around 13, 14 hours. Because I know when we drive from Jersey here to Georgia, and he's behind Georgia in Florida, we drive for around 8 hours or something like that. So if you add Florida, I think Florida might be about 2-3 hours from Georgia. So then if you add that on, that is just to bring you towards Jersey. Then from here, when we go to DC, it's about 3 hours. So yeah, when you put it all together, you might be right, maybe about 13, 16 hours.
Yeah, that about. Yeah. Yeah. But happy, thank you, Mr. Nabe.
Thank you too, man. Thank you very much. Have a good night.